Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Pleasures Vault, where cardboard is king. My name is Mike, and I have something very important to talk about today. I have a lot of questions. One of the questions is, why is this card worth $20 now? I mean, I'm not complaining because I bought up like a whole bunch of these for $1 a piece, and I've been selling these and making a lot of money. Number two, why the heck did this get a 3? Tell me, PSA, why did this get a 3? And now, number 3, why is it that these card prices have gone up so much that even a PSA 5 first ed Charizard is well over $5,000? Now, again, I can't say I'm complaining. It's more so just the state of where the card prices are. Now, apparently, the Magic market is finally starting to go on that uptrend. And I find that very fascinating because, at the very beginning of the year, we had that crazy, buyout for all these old vintage Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And even some of the modern stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh was even, really crazily priced. The Pokemon Modern market, we still had, the Hidden Fates and everything. And then, there are a couple, good modern sets that are coming out that people are happy with, which is fine. But I was really mind blown by the incredible buyouts for Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! For the old stuff, especially the vintage stuff and the graded stuff. They were for Yu-Gi-Oh! If it was an old school Generation 1 Ultra Rare or Secret Rare, my god, some of them were insane. Especially anything from Legend of Blue Eyes, Metal Raiders, Magic Rulers, Pharaoh Servant, anything in those old school sets. And then in the GX era, if it's first ed ulti and it's a fusion monster, just my god. And then the Ghost Rares up until Ultimate Rares for the Ultimate and Ghost Rare first eds and the 5Ds era, so on and so forth. Crazy buyouts. Pokemon saw a lot of crazy buyouts with again the base set, first ed Shadowless stuff, Fossil and Jungle, but then it went even into the gym sets and then into the Expedition sets, the Neo sets. Crazy buyouts, especially on high graded cards. And Magic was on a downturn. The cards were actually starting to bottom out. Buy list prices were going down. It was basically, and to be fair, guys, I think you kind of missed your chance to get near mint revised dual lands for cheap. I am not a big Magic guy, but I do know that they're that's the metric unit of value in the old school vintage Magic stuff. That's kind of what a lot of people go by. Well, obviously there's the whole Power 9 and everything from Alpha and Beta, but then a lot of times people do always tend to say, well, how are the revised dual lands doing? Because they're at the end of the whole original era of Magic, because they were in the revised set. But dual lands were popular. They're basically the most valuable cards in the revised set, and therefore that was a good benchmark to see. Okay, well, where are they in the card market? Are they doing well? Are they doing bad? Or do people want them? Or are people selling them? So it was kind of a strange coincidence that while Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were going up, Magic was kind of on a downstream. And obviously they wasn't sell and just get rid of everything before these cards go to zero and they just completely crash and become garbage. But it was more just okay, on that healthy, natural, exponential growth, there's a lot of little variance in there. I believe that Magic was just going through one of those little downturn areas before they go back up naturally. But because it was going on during the whole 2020 worst year of all time, people thought, oh my gosh, this is the end of Magic. Just a lot of people have that mentality. Not everybody, but there was a good amount. So Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh had an inverse effect, where I think personally they were probably just on that one of those healthy, low, natural rate increases on the exponential growth chart, and because it happened to fall in 2020, and everyone received, or at least in there's all different amounts of money over the world when it comes to stimulus or economic assistance, but here in the United States, we all received our stimulus checks. Many U.S. citizens received the stimulus check, and a lot of people didn't quite need it, so people just put it towards things that they wanted: TVs, furniture, knickknacks, junk. I don't know. Maybe some people just put it in savings. Maybe some people use it to pay their rent, which is perfectly fine. It's kind of what it's there for. Buy food, but many of the people used it to buy collectibles. And I'm sure people were investing in Magic, and they were probably having the time of their life because the prices were going down. But Magic and Pokemon saw a huge buyout, and just like my video last year when I was kind of estimating that the first edition Charizard will probably, I wouldn't say that's the benchmark, but it's probably a good example of a card that had had actual sales at the $20,000 mark, and that was, record prices for the flagship card of Pokemon. And I was estimating, well, what could happen in, what could happen in 1 year? Could we see the card double in price potentially? And I was estimating that I would be very, very surprised, but I was kind of thinking that I expect this card to potentially double in price. And I was even thinking maybe it would just go up by 150%. So increase by $10,000. Maybe there would be an actual sold listing at $30,000, and that's a an insane increase. But no. As of right now, there was an official sale for PSA 9 first edition Charizard at approximately like 19,000 and change. I forget the actual amount. If someone knows, please let me know down below. I just don't feel like looking it up. But there was an official sale for over $19,000 for PSA 9. And PSA 10, I believe there have been official sales at 50 grand plus. Some people were saying that one sold for like 60 or 70. I didn't know if that was like a BGS 9.5 or... Yeah, it must have been, because I'm pretty sure that... Now, bear in mind, the only BGS 10 first and Charizards are owned by Gary Haase, Gary from Porn Stars, whatever. So I think some BGS 9.5 Charizards sold, and I think people were saying 60 to 70, but as far as PSA 10, there was a confirmed sale at around $50,000 plus. So the card not only went up in price, it went up more than double. So it exceeded my expectations. And then obviously all the other vintage stuff has gone up in price. It is quite insane. And I kind of am starting to feel like, okay, I just can't see prices going up any higher, because the prices have gone up so tremendously. I think at some point we are getting close to that glass ceiling, the bubble. I think me and my buddy Pete. Pete's like one of my go-to guys for talking about. He's been in the collectible world for a very long time, and he's also been very tempted to sell some of his the higher end stuff that he has. And he keeps telling me, he's like, Mike, I think this is just too good. This is just good money. And I tried telling him, yeah, I know, but you have to be strong and know that unless you need the money right now, which again, there are people out there who do need the money, and then it's whatever. Again, it's your card. You can sell it if you want to. You can keep it if you want to. But I understand there are people out there who might need that money ASAP, and so these cards is literally, it's liquid capital in a way. At least now more than ever, this stuff is really liquid. It can be, turned into cash very quickly. But I think that he wasn't about, I need the money now. It was more so he felt like, yeah, but these cards are a little bit too expensive. Do you know what I'm saying? And I kind of thought about it, and for the last couple of weeks, I was thinking, you know what? These card prices really are kind of like, again, I'm focusing on Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh too, but Pokemon was really on my mind, and I think Pokemon especially is getting close to that glass ceiling. Now, this is not like an overall glass ceiling or where it's like, okay, that's it. This is the highest it's ever going to be, and cards are going to start going down forever. I'm saying on that healthy exponential curve, I think on one of these little rises, I think we're just about to hit that plateau mark and eventually come back down. In the future, it'll go back up. But I think this is one of those moments where you have to be very mindful of what some of these cards are going for. You have to be very mindful of what you could potentially get for these, especially if the prices are going to go down. Now, obviously, it can be kind of risky, because if you are going to actually sell the cards and think, okay, well, am I ever going to pick them up again? Because if they're going to be more expensive in the future, getting rid of them now is kind of foolish. And I would say, yeah, there is some truth to that. But I do think when you're in those growing curves on the graph, when you get to those little miniature plateau points that goes down and then goes back up, that little bottoming out point is the perfect time to buy. And although these bottoming out points are increasing on those graphs, the point is they are times to buy, because the cards are going to go up over time. They're going to go up in price over time. So I was talking to Pete, and I said, you know what? Take, for example, the Charizard that I have. Because this is the lowest grade of the first set Charizards that I have, and I thought to myself, a 5, again, it's not bad. It says PSA 5, and I believe EX stands for excellent. So it's an excellent condition card according to PSA's little, graphing standard. However, I do feel that a PSA 5 Charizard is not a bad grade, but it's not a high grade. And it's the higher end stuff that's definitely going to be a lot healthier when it comes to exponential growth. Now, this card has exponentially grown in price tremendously over the last, like, year or so. Again, this was a card that was approximately worth somewhere between, like, I would say $1,200 to $1,500, maybe like 2 years ago. And to go up, what is that, like, double, gosh, almost like 4 times, like, so that's like a 400% increase is pretty insane over a 2-year period. And I think when it comes to maybe the higher end stuff, and I mean, like, PSA 7 and PSA 10 is the gem. That stuff that's on a whole different tier of value, as you see. Like, the jump from 7, 8, 9, 10, it just shoots straight up. So I believe on the high end you have 7 plus. 6 is like that light play near mint area, but 7 plus is technically considered to be near mint. So I always feel like I think 7s in a way are really like it's a number that kind of scares people away because it's a 7. But 7 that's actually, in my opinion, aren't that bad. I mean, they're disappointing if you're shooting for a 9 or a 10, but I think 7s, be quiet, phone. 7s are actually not a bad spot to just kind of keep your eye on those kind of cards. I feel that a lot of times they can be undervalued. And sometimes maybe, I mean, not in all cases, but just something to keep an eye out for. But I feel PSA 7s plus are the ones that are probably going to, retain more value over time and are probably more safe when it comes to when there's bottoming out, or not the bottoming out, when those plateaus occur. I feel that 7 plus are the ones that are probably going to, remain somewhat constant. Like, I don't really see like them dropping, but I do see them kind of maybe going down a little bit compared to the other cards, like raw cards, which might go down a little bit more before they go back up. So when it comes to something like a PSA 5 Charizard, I was talking to Pete and I said, you know what? I really just don't see this card going up that much more over the next year or so. And I do feel that within the next year, I think again, it's not going to happen like tomorrow. Who knows? Anything can happen. But I do feel that over the next year, especially after all the buying, something's got to give. We're going to get to a point, I mean, like, again, ultimately, everything always goes up in price over time, unless, I don't know, unless, like, Armageddon happens, and then there's no point to collect cardboard, But in the meantime, cardboard is king, in my eyes. So, it's always going to hold value, but you're going to see those plateauing points. And that's why I said to Pete, you know what? I think it's time to start realizing that we might have to start selling some of these cards if you want to get the value out of it. So I looked at a card like this, and I said, you know what? This is a card that I wouldn't mind. Of all the cards I have, this is one that I wouldn't mind selling right now. Because I do feel that if you can get $5 grand plus for a card like this, you might be able to get $6,000 within a year. And yes, that is obviously a significant increase. It is. But it's going to be a lot harder to move as you get closer and closer to that top. Because in the second there's any kind of like hesitation and the cards do start going down in price and people start being more lenient, okay, fine, I'll lower the price at $5,750. And then, $5,500, lower. You start going down a little bit, people start panicking, and then no one buys. Because everyone knows, okay, now cards are dropping in price. You might see a purchase here and there. And we're not talking about Charizard specifically. I'm just thinking like in general. So when that happens, buying will become a lot less. It's going to become a market where people, if it's basically the buyers have all the power at that point. Because like, okay, well, I can buy whenever I want to because I know the cards are going to start going down in price, and then everyone's going to be anticipating that bottoming out point when the cards. Oh, going the wrong way. This way. When we get to that bottoming out point and then the cards go back up, then people are going to start buying again before cards shoot up even more, and buyouts will keep occurring. So I do believe that Pokemon, maybe not Yu-Gi-Oh specifically, but Pokemon, for some reason, I do feel has hit that. It's starting, the slope starting to steepen a little bit. I think Yu-Gi-Oh might be right behind it. People keep saying, oh my gosh, these cards are going to, like, some cards are going to skyrocket to be like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 plus. And these are the cards that have gone up in price like significantly over the last year. Again, the higher graded stuff, I definitely see them going up in price and retaining a good amount of value. There's going to be a few exceptions of the cards just never go down. They're just going to keep going up, and that's probably going to be more so like the original like OG stuff, like LOB first edition cards. But I do feel that while that's not happening just yet for Yu-Gi-Oh collectibles and the high-end stuff, Pokemon, I don't know what. This is my theory, guys. Pokemon that plateau is closer than we think, and not the penultimate not the the ultimate plateau where it's like, oh, that's it. This is the max they're ever going to get for your cards. It's more so, this is just one of the many moments in, you know, in the card market that people have to be very mindful of prices potentially changing drastically again, but in a different direction. And I don't know. I just wanted to bring this to people's attention because I'm just starting to get that hunch. I've been kind of seeing like people keep buying, but I just feel like, man, these prices have gone up so much. Something's got to give. That glass ceiling, I truly think is getting pretty. We're getting pretty close to it, and I'm not telling you to go and sell everything. I'm not saying go and sell your Charizards, go and sell your original WotC stuff. Don't go and sell your original first edition Yu-Gi-Oh cards. All I'm saying is just be very mindful that this might be one of the best times to sell to get the most bang for your buck, and then you might be able to pick up the cards a little bit cheaper down the road. You know, that's just what a lot of people out there always keep speculating. People can be very patient for when that happens, and then if you're patient enough, you can really reap the benefits. You can really, you know, acquire things at cheaper prices. And then if you think about it, people kind of just think about doing this just one time, but if you do it consistently over like the next like 10 years, there's gonna be so many moments where, let's say you buy a card, sell it, and then make money, buy it again when it's cheaper, sell it again when it goes back on price. You're constantly buying for cheap, selling for more, and you're just increasing your own net worth. So that's just my speculation on this. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Yu-Gi-Oh is also maybe reaching that plateau? What do you guys think about Magic? Magic is finally going up in price. I think people said that's, again, that benchmark, revised dual lands, according to Rudy from Alpha Investments, they're at an all-time high. So it's crazy that we're starting to see like an inverse, right? We're starting to see an inverse. It's kind of hard to describe it, but while I think Magic is starting to go up, I have a feeling that Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh are finally going to hit that point where they're going to start going down. Again, not permanently. It's just one of the many, like, you know, hilltops in that healthy growth curve. I can't talk anymore. I'm tired. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think down below. And if you haven't done already, please subscribe to the channel. And please leave a comment down below. I love talking to you guys. I feel like you guys don't comment enough. And I don't want you to be afraid. I don't bite. At least not always. And please leave a like. It really helps out a lot. It lets me know that you are enjoying this content. Please hit that little bell in the corner so that way I know, or so that way you know that you'll be getting more, you know, updates and notifications for my future videos. And maybe I'll do a few more giveaways. But again, I just want you guys to kind of just let me know if you guys want giveaways. Comment down below, like the videos. Then I know to start doing giveaways. Because I did one in my last video, and unfortunately, you guys did hit that quota for likes. So maybe we'll try again. But until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.